as a possible homicide investigation.
Responding officers did discover the body of an adult female inside.
Then chaos and a deadly shooting just steps away from KXLY4 cameras. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Nadine Woodward. 2 people are dead, and police are releasing very little information about a wild scene that played out right in front of our KXLY4 cameras this afternoon. Police were outside a home near Standard and Jackson, awaiting a search warrant where a woman's body was discovered. Officers had been on scene for several hours when a man described as a person of interest drove up to the house. KXLY4's Aaron Luna live in the studio now. Aaron, it quickly escalated to gunfire.
It definitely did, Nadine. We're still here live out on scene, and if you want to take a look behind me, it's still a very active investigation. About a block and a half away, that's where you're going to see that blue truck. It went from that person of interest driving that blue truck through a police barricade to officers yelling at him to stop. Seconds later, gunfire. Police were already on scene at a home on North Standard investigating what appeared to be a homicide when a man driving a blue truck drove through the police barrier.
As I'm walking away, I hear a detective start screaming, "That's the guy, that's the guy, that's the guy."
KXLY photographer Ernie Vela was on scene when he heard police shouting, "That's the man."
Police just immediately start swarming the car, screaming at him to get out of the car, get out of the car.
Seconds later, police had guns drawn and approached the vehicle from 3 sides. What happened next took only seconds. While KXLY4 caught the shooting on video, it's very graphic, and we've decided to show only several screenshots. This picture shows the man getting out of the truck with something held in his left hand, something that closely resembles a handgun. That's when police opened fire. The gunshots happened so quickly, it's tough to tell how many shots were fired.
As I'm putting the camera up to my shoulder, I hit roll. The first gunshot goes off, and it was just a volley of gunfire. He goes down. Police surround him, immediately start calling paramedics. And
police say the man was a person of interest in their homicide investigation. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
I've been in a lot of touchy situations before, but this was nothing like this.
The Spokane Investigative Regional Response Team will now lead this investigation. The actual lead agency on that is the Spokane Sheriff's Department. The medical examiner will release the name of the shooting victim. Reporting live in Northeast Spokane, Aaron Luna, KXLY4 News.
All right, thank you, Aaron, for that. And not to be lost in the midst of this shooting, the original investigation into what appears to be a homicide that started the entire incident. KXLY4's Ian Cull live on the scene. And Ian, what have they been able to find out yet? Have they been able to even enter the home?
No, not yet, Nadine. They were just starting to really focus on that side of the investigation when this officer-involved shooting happened. I'm going to step out of the frame as well so you can take a closer look about a block and a half down. The original scene was at the house on the corner of Jackson and Standard. The exact address is 2512 North Standard. Police were called to the home at 10 a.m. Inside, an adult woman was found dead. They have not released her name or age or even a possible motive. Major crimes detectives responded to the scene. Police say they were called to the home 10 times in the past year alone, though they wouldn't say what those calls were for. Spokane Police Chief Frank Straub says the man shot and killed by police was a person of interest in the homicide investigation. They would not say if he was a suspect or not, but witnesses say they heard police shout, "That's him, that's him," when he crashed through that barricade. Straub also says that they are not searching for any more persons of interest in this case. We'll continue to remain on scene. We'll have more updates coming up tonight at 6 and 6:30 as well as on social media. Nadine, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much, Ian, and we will continue to cover this homicide and the police shooting. You can always find updates on Facebook, Twitter, KXLY.com, and News Radio 920.